A man kneels at the shelter, hand out, voice soft, nothing aggressive, nothing loud. And the dog flinches anyway, flat to the ground, tail tucked, eyes wide, like the hand itself was a memory he couldn't escape. Nobody in that room hurt him, not today. But something in his body remembers anyway. Does your dog actually remember the people who hurt him? Or is what you're seeing something else entirely, something science only recently learned how to explain? The answer involves the inside of your dog's brain, the most powerful sense he has, and a kind of memory that isn't really a memory at all. At least, not the kind you're picturing. Most people land on one of two opposite beliefs. Either dogs forget everything in minutes, short memory, no lasting damage. Or dogs remember exactly like we do, a face, a name, a clear picture replayed in their mind. Both feel reasonable. Both are wrong. The truth isn't about how long the memory lasts. It's about what kind of memory it actually is. And that distinction changes everything. Because your dog's brain doesn't store a memory the way a camera stores a photograph, it stores something stranger and in some ways more powerful. Here's the first thing to understand. You can close your eyes and replay an event like a film, a room, a sequence in order. That's episodic memory, and dogs don't appear to have it in that narrative form. What they have instead is associative memory, simpler than a story and far more durable. It works like this. That person hurt me. I must defend myself. I must stay away. No plot, no play-by-play, just outcome and instinct fused together. Short-term memory in a dog is brief, sometimes just minutes. But when fear or pain is involved, it doesn't stay short-term. It gets written somewhere deeper, somewhere that doesn't fade on its own. Two structures inside your dog's brain are responsible for this. And one of them doesn't just remember pain, it guards against it happening again. The hippocampus stores experience, the raw material of memory. The amygdala handles something more urgent, fear and survival. It doesn't think in sentences. It thinks in patterns, a tone of voice, a posture, a particular smell, even the lighting in a room. Any one fragment can trigger the same fear response as the original event years later. Researchers have even found evidence of what's called episodic-like recall in dogs, meaning they don't just remember what happened, they remember the emotion attached to it. That's why a raised hand or a stranger's cologne can make a calm dog disappear into fear. He's not overreacting. His brain is doing exactly the job evolution gave it. But there's one sense more powerful than any other in how this memory gets triggered. And it might be the most important piece of this whole story. Picture a German shepherd named Bella, rescued from an abusive home. In her new house, she was calm, affectionate, easy to love, until a man in a baseball cap walked in, instantly trembling, trying to disappear into the corner. It wasn't about the man, it was the hat, somewhere in her past. A hat had been present during something that hurt her, and her brain had fused the two together permanently, not as a clear memory of an event, but as an unbreakable association. Hat equals danger. Her new owner didn't punish the fear or force the interaction. She let Bella set the pace. Calm voice, slow movement, no pressure. Over months, not days, something shifted. Bella began learning that this pattern didn't always predict pain anymore. Dogs like her don't forget what happened, but they learn something almost as powerful that it isn't happening now. Because your dog's nose isn't just for finding treats, it might be the most powerful memory keeper he has. His olfactory bulb is far larger and more complex than the equivalent structure in your own brain. Dogs can recognize specific people by scent alone. So, if the person who hurt him carried a particular smell, smoke, a certain cologne, even the scent of fear sweat, that smell becomes permanently linked to danger. It isn't just the person he remembers, it's everything present in that moment. The smell of the room, the sound nearby, the object used. This is why some dogs panic at a broom or a rolled newspaper, not because they're replaying a story, but because every sense available recorded that moment as something to survive. Which brings us to the part that changes how you should think about all of it. When your dog reacts with fear to something tied to his past, that isn't a grudge. It isn't him holding on to anger the way people sometimes do. In behavioral science, memory is simply information that changes future behavior. By that measure, the flinch isn't bad behavior. It's data his brain trying to prevent the same harm from happening twice. People ask whether abused animals forgive, but forgiveness requires a kind of reasoning dogs may not need. What they achieve instead is something else, a kind of neurological reprioritization. Fear slowly gives way to familiarity because the new evidence, day after day, finally supports it. He doesn't forget what was done to him. He simply stops needing the fear to survive. If you've adopted a dog with an unknown past, flinching at raised hands, tucking the tail at loud voices, avoiding certain people or objects, these are signs worth meeting with patience, not punishment. Punishing a fear response almost always makes it worse. It confirms, in the only language he understands, that the world really is as dangerous as his body believes. What helps is slower than that. Calm consistency, safe experiences, repeated often enough to start outweighing the old ones, letting him set the pace. And if the fear runs deep, a certified trainer or veterinary behaviorist can help more than good intentions alone. Somewhere in your dog, a memory still lives that he never asked for and can never fully erase. But every day you are gentle with him, every quiet moment, every soft voice, every promise kept, you are writing something new directly over it, not deleting his past, outweighing it, one safe moment at a time, until the fear no longer has to win. So, do dogs remember the people who hurt them? Not as a clear memory, replayed like a film. They rely on associative memory, emotion, scent, sound, and pattern fused into one instinctive response. But yes, they remember the feeling completely. The amygdala and hippocampus encode fear with remarkable permanence, especially when scent is involved. And here's the part that matters most. Remembering pain is not the same as being broken by it. Dogs experience real healing not by forgetting what happened, but by collecting enough new, safe experiences that the fear simply stops being necessary. He may never fully forget the person who hurt him, but he can learn that you are not that person. And for most dogs, given enough patience, that truth eventually wins. If you've ever wondered whether your rescue dog still carries his past inside him, the honest answer is probably yes, somewhere. But carrying a memory isn't the same as being trapped by it. Every gentle day you give him is proof, stacking up against everything that came before. And dogs, more than almost any creature alive, know how to let proof become trust.